Foxy the Pirate Fox, one of the most infamous Five Nights at Freddy's characters for being one of the most fan favorite out of the whole bunch. Possessed by one of the childs that William Afton murdered, Foxy is a mainstay of Five Nights at Freddy's, even if he doesn't get to appear in Security Breach. I don't like Roxanne Wolf. Moving on to that, however, it would be pretty fun to see Foxy in Smash, so let's make him charge his way towards the fight. Now, to be honest, however, why am I doing Foxy? I already did Freddy, and there's no real point to do another FNAF character. Also, wouldn't it make more sense to do Springtrap? A lot of people would really like to see Springtrap in Smash. Obviously not as much as Freddy, and no, not a lot of people really want Freddy in the game, but still. The reason why I did Springtrap, well, I'm stupid. The reason why I didn't do Springtrap was because, well, he's already been done beforehand. The most infamous example is Brawl Fan 1's moveset, and I know a lot of people would probably call me a ripoff for doing him. I did kind of steal some moves from his Freddy video to put into Freddy, so really, yeah. And another thing I didn't want to do Springtrap, and the third and final reason is, well, I couldn't really think of anything for Springtrap, so that's why we're doing Foxy. And besides, I like Wither Foxy a lot more. Which also leads into my other argument, why am I using Wither Foxy and not, regular Foxy, the most original version of Foxy. Well, not the most original, but, the most iconic appearance of Foxy. Well, the reason why I decided to do Wither Foxy was, well, I did it with Freddy as well, but I prefer the withered versions of Freddy and Foxy way more than their original designs. I also think Wither Foxy would look a lot more unique in Smash compared to regular Foxy. And besides, Wither Foxy hasn't had an appearance in a game since FNAF VR. Okay, well, maybe he has had, I forgot FNAF VR existed for a little bit. I thought his latest appearance was in FNAF World, okay? Be quiet. Moving on to that, however, that's mainly why I want to do Wither Foxy. So, let's get right into it. Wither Foxy would be a pretty heavy character, obviously, because he's an animatronic. But he wouldn't be one of the heaviest characters in the game. In fact, he wouldn't really be that heavy at all. He'd possibly be, above average. Mainly due to his slimmer design compared to the other withered animatronics, which has a lot more of a bulkier appearance. Foxy would also not be that fast. He would be pretty fast, but he would mainly be pretty much above average of quick speed. However, he would have the ability to crawl. Unlike Freddy, which is crouching is mainly the golden Freddy position, while Foxy would have a much more traditional crouch look, and, he would crawl. However, he wouldn't wall jump or wall cling, and he would only have 2 jumps. Getting right into the attacks, Wither Foxy would have a free jabs, yeah, that makes sense, with a rapid jab. His first hit would mainly be his hook, and it will always be his hook. Then he'll swing with his fist, then he'll, I don't know, for his third, he'll, just swing his hook again. But for his rapid jab, he'll spin around. A lot of people would mainly use this as move for Freddy, but I decided to use it for Foxy here because, well, I didn't give Freddy this move when I made the Freddy video. So, Foxy would spin around with his upper waist as a rapid jab. He can hit people behind as well. Moving on to his tilts, Foxy's side tilt he'll poke out his hook and spin it around. This move would actually be pretty weak. It would work identically to King Dedede's side tilt, however, like I mentioned, it would be one of his not that good attacks. His up tilt would be similar to Freddy's up smash, where he would spin his head around. It would be a lot quicker, however weaker, because it's a tilt. For his down tilt, I wanted to make it unique instead of just being hook swing, so it'll actually be a kind of 2-hit move. Foxy will first bite forward in his front direction, and in the back he would do a little kick. The kick would be more powerful than the, bite, but you have to wait until the bite finishes before the kick happens. Moving into his dash attack, he'll simply lunge forward and swing his hook in an up and down arc. It would be identical to Link's. Moving into his side smash would be pretty unique. He'll first charge up his hook, and if you charge it up here, it would just be a pretty generic attack. However, if you attack with, okay, I'm stupid. If you attack with something, really? Okay, so if you charge it longer, his hook would actually morph into 2 hooks, in reference to Radioactive Foxy from FNAF AR. If you swing here, if you don't swing it, if you let go of it, Foxy, it would be a lot more powerful, but you'll also get pushed forward a little bit due to the weight of the hook. If you hold the button down longer, however, Foxy's hook would morph into a ginormous hook, in reference to Grim Foxy. If you swing here, it will do really good damage. I'm talking good. You also get to swing around a little bit. However, it wouldn't be that crazy. And when you attack with this move right, if you attack when it spins around, it won't do that much damage. His up smash, with a crappy rendition of what I think his up smash should be, he'll jump into the air and spin around, also biting multiple times. The biting will mainly be his sweet spot, while the spinning around, which basically is his body, will be the sour spot of the move. For his down smash, he'll put his hand, just literally dig it into the ground, and spin around with his legs, basically his whole entire body. It will, yeah, you can kind of see a pattern here with his moves. He really likes to spin around. However, the move is basically identical to like Mario's. However, it's a much more powerful, but a bit slower as well, due to him being an animatronic after all, and he's putting his whole gosh darn weight into his arm. Moving into his aerials, William Foxy's neutral aerial will be identical to Banjo-Kazooie's, where he'll basically spin his upper waist, front view, I guess. However, unlike Banjo's, it would be longer, slower, and more powerful. Foxy's forward aerial will mostly be a simple up and down with his hook. It won't work like a meteor smash move, but it will look like one. For his back aerial, it'll be a simple drop kick. Nothing crazy to say here. His up air will be roughly identical to Rob's. He'll swing his arms in an upward arc, basically. It will be Rob's, but he'll swing his arms at the same time, unlike Rob's. And for his down aerial, it'll be similar to Mii Brawler's and Ganondorf's, where Foxy will first use his hook and fist and swing them down in a downward arc. Then he'll go back up and stomp the air. If you get hit when, he's doing the downward arc, you'll actually get stuck in place, and that'll make it a lot easier to, get the Meteor Smash move when he stomps into the air. This move would probably be very broken. Moving into his grabs, pummels, and throws, Foxy would grab the opponents with his hook, and yes, I am using a Robo Scout as a demonstration. He'll eventually sucker punch the opponents for his pummel. His forward throw, he'll start malfunctioning, swinging his arm violently and twisting himself and snapping at his jaw, and eventually will just violently throw the opponents by just moving his waist very violently. This is in reference to the FNAF VR Parts and Service minigame for Foxy, where he starts to move very violently. For his back throw, Foxy will take the opponent's frontal lobe with his jaw and swing them around until spitting them out. This is a pretty generic move, and I think I actually used this move for Freddy, maybe. I don't really remember that well, but yeah, this move would be, pretty generic. But hey, you gotta have a few generic moves in there. Speaking of generic moves, for his up air, well, not up air, his up throw, he would throw the opponents upward. It's very simple. And for his down throw, he will literally pick up the opponents and just bury them into the ground. This will be similar to, like, Banjo-Kazooie's or, King K. Rool's down throw. However, unlike those characters, Foxy's will be a bit slower. He'll actually tip over a little bit, but due to the weight of the fighter. I mean, he is an animatronic after all. He's not a cartoon character. But can you imagine, him picking up a character like Ridley? That would be pretty funny looking. Moving finally into his B attacks, Foxy's special will be known as Flash and Scare. He'll charge up, looking like he's about to do a jump scare. However, once you let go of the button in his phase, you'll simply pull out a flashlight and flash the opponents, in revenge from all those years of being flashed in the face. Anyways, the flash would stun the opponents, so it would be similar to Mewtwo's down B. However, the flash would be in a bigger radius. However, the stun won't stun them for too long. it would be pretty short. And, since the opponents would probably know how to button mash, it would probably be a pretty terrible move, actually. But if you hold the button down, Foxy will take a few steps back, and that's when you let her rip. If you let go of the button, Foxy will take one step forward and just tell you to F off and dive bomb straight into you. This is obviously referencing his FNAF 2 jump scare, where, he leaps forward and, literally just dive bombs into you. This attack is powerful. I'm talking, if you're, like, at 90% or higher, you're dead. However, there are a few, downfalls to this move. Foxy will have a little bit of start lag due to having to take a step forward for actually lunging out on you, and he has an outrageous amount of end lag due to him having to get back up. So, yeah, you should probably watch out for this, okay? Moving on to his side B, I didn't really want to do the lunging thing with him, so I decided to do something a lot more unique. I mean, I didn't want this to be, Sonic, where he has two moves that are literally identical, so I decided to reference something that Foxy has, which is possibly his most iconic move, is running. Foxy will start to rev up, saying, "I've got you now!" And then he'll charge at you, in the same similar way to how he runs down the hallway in FNAF 1 to try to kill you. This move for Foxy will be very, very good, actually. Now, yes, it does require a lot of start lag, but when he starts running, there's nothing that can stop him. Well, except maybe he runs into a wall. So yeah, if he runs into an enemy, he'll simply just trample over them, not giving 2 cents about them. However, you can actually cancel the move by doing literally anything. Yeah, doing anything will just instantly cancel the move. So that means you can't actually turn around, unlike Wario's side B. Also, if he runs into a wall, he will stop. And if you also go off a ledge, he will go off the ledge. So, yeah, just watch out for that. For his down B, get ready for this. It's hot cheese. Now, if you don't know, in the game FNAF world, hot cheese is a move for Foxy, where hot cheese will be placed on the enemies. After that, the enemies will take small flinching damage. Basically something like Afterburn in TF2 or something like that, where they'll take the constant damage. So it will work similar here. Foxy will summon hot cheese and it'll be splattered all over the place. However, the splats will be at random positions, so that means splats can fall off the edge. If you step on them or come in contact with them in any shape or form, you will get hurt. It will kind of do the burning effect, I guess. However, there is also a downfall to this move, and that's mainly Foxy can also run into it and get hurt. However, on some random occasions, you can do the attack Rainy Day, specifically Rainy Day 2. Now, in FNAF World, Rainy Day was an attack where you can lower the defense of your enemies by summoning Rainy Day. And with Rainy Day 2, you can actually attack them with lightning. It would work identical here in Smash. The opponents will get a cloud on their head and it will pour rain on them, of course. This will lower their defense. And on some rare occasions, lightning will appear attacking them. Now, the opponents actually can kind of outrun this move, and if Foxy comes in contact with this move as well, like if you just run into him, he can also get some lower defense. And yes, you obviously get lower defense. And that's not good for a game where you're trying to stay on a ledge. For his up B, this one was kind of difficult to think about. I really didn't want to use the generic teleport move, because Foxy never actually teleports or shows the illusion of teleportation. So I was kind of stumped here. However, I just randomly thought of this idea. This move will be called the Phantom Helper, and here's how it will work, obviously. Phantom Foxy will go on... I literally just spoiled it, didn't I? I literally just said the character. Foxy will go unconscious, and Phantom Foxy will appear. He'll grab Foxy and hoist him up. He'll go mainly in an upward arc, obviously. This move is kind of predictable, but whatever. Phantom Foxy can't actually get hurt, but Foxy can, so watch out for that. After a little while, or if he comes in contact with the ground, Phantom Foxy will go back into Foxy. Foxy won't actually go into free fall in this move, so, yeah, there is that. Moving on to his final smash. Foxy will have 2 final smashes. Yep. Oh boy. Yes, I tried making him that more unique compared to Freddy. It will work identical to Ryu and Ken, where he has one that's far away and one that's up close. So let's talk about the one that's far away, called the Twisted Stomp. Once you activate the final smash, it will zoom into Foxy's head, revealing an illusion chip. Eventually, Foxy will transform into the almighty Twisted Foxy from the FNAF novels, the Twisted ones. Foxy will eventually slash at the opponents with his hook, his weird warp hook. Eventually, it will appear as a cinematic final smash, where the opponents will be stuck in the ground, paying homage to the original Twisted Foxy image. Eventually, Foxy, well, technically Twisted Foxy, but whatever, will appear up in the sky. There's supposed to be a moon, but okay. Eventually, he'll, fall down, obviously, from that height, and he'll just stomp right onto the opponents. Eventually, he'll grab the opponents out of the ground, because obviously they'd be synced more into the ground, and throw them back onto the stage. Twisted Foxy will eventually appear screaming until he turns back into regular Foxy. This move is, pretty deadly, especially towards multiple people, and I really wanted to reference, the obscure stuff from FNAF. Now, moving on to his next final smash, the one that's mainly up close. Now, this one is called Spring Lock. Now, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Don't worry. We'll talk about some problems with it later when I'm done talking about the final smash. So, oh my god, I can't speak. So, when you're up close to Foxy and activate the final smash, Foxy will say, "Oh, you're big enough to us," in reference to the FNAF World Foxy.exe minigame. Eventually, Foxy will grab the opponent, or mainly really one opponent, and throw them. Eventually, they'll be thrown into a spring lock suit, specifically Spring Bonnie, where it's visible that water's dripping on them. And you know what that means? They get snapped really hard in the spring locks suit. Obviously, the spring locks come loose and it snaps. Now, obviously, there would probably be no blood. Well, of course there will be no blood. I'm so stupid. It probably works similar to Joker's final smash, or sparks will fly out of them instead. Eventually, a familiar hook would grab the top of the jaw of the suit and slam, and, well, obviously, Foxy will slam the opponents into the ground, breaking the suit, and the opponents would be bust out of the suit, and eventually fall back onto the stage, and Foxy would return as well. Now, I get it. There is obviously 2 problems with this final smash. 1, Foxy was not there when William Afton died, and 2, this does not fit Foxy. Now, let's start with the first argument. Yes, Foxy was not there when William Afton died, technically. His soul was there, but him himself was not. But then again, you don't see Mario popping forward aerials or shooting fireballs without his fire flower in his origin games. Obviously, we're taking liberties here with the character. And second, yes, I know this move does not fit Foxy at all. I just thought this final smash was super cool. We could technically just work with the Twisted Stomp final smash, but I really thought this was a cool idea. I was originally thinking about Foxy.exe type final smash, where they, the opponents appear in the Foxy.exe world, and Foxy's humongous, and then he, slams his fist on them, or eats them. But, I don't know. I mainly didn't really want to give FNAF that much of an attention. I think only really one attack and some few nods to FNAF World would be, enough. I really didn't want to, give him an entire final smash dedicated to it. So, yeah. I know this move does not fit Foxy well. Heck, this would work better with, Springtrap, but still. You just gotta make liberties, I guess. I just thought this final smash was really cool. Now moving on to the extras, my personal favorite part. So, for his taunts, Foxy will get some green swirly eyes and say, "Be sure you step through the heart of madness," in reference to, obviously, Foxy.exe. His next taunt will also be a reference to Foxy.exe, saying, "When you can see, how fast can you flee?" And his third taunt, he'll bow down to you and then just start laughing. I know Foxy doesn't really do this, but I don't know, I just think of him with a cocky attitude, so that's why I gave it to him. And I thought it was funny. So moving on to his victories, his victory theme would not be the FNAF 3 good ending theme that I gave to Freddy. I was really thinking about it, and I realized that that theme does not work as a victory theme. I get it that it plays when the good ending appears, but that theme does not work as a hippity-hoppy victory theme. It works as obviously a slow, like, War 1 theme or something like that. I mean, technically they won the war. So yeah, I'm changing the victory theme for the FNAF characters, and it will be the OG 6 a.m. chime. Now, obviously this theme is a bit generic, but it's possibly one of the most iconic video game victories of all time, so it makes sense to have it here. Anyways, now, talking about his victory and themes, not themes, animations, I'm stupid. So moving on to his victory animations, Foxy will burst out of his cove saying,
"Now you've met all the members of the band."
This is obviously referencing the FNAF Showtime tapes. Now I know they were scrapped, but whatever. And I mean, technically you haven't met all the members of the band because you only met Freddy and Foxy. And no, I'm not making movesets for Chica or Bonnie. You can just call that off infinitely. I'm not making any more FNAF movesets. Moving on to his second victory, Foxy will, well, okay, wait, the camera will show Foxy, however, he'll be facing behind the camera. He'll be facing backwards, there you go. You'll only see his behind. Eventually, he'll turn his head, showcasing black, empty voids representing his eyes. This is obviously referencing the very secret FNAF 2 death screens / rare screens where you can very rarely on some sort of conditions see Wither Foxy, Wither Freddy, or Toy Bonnie with black gaping holes while static plays in the background. Well, black gaping holes representing their eyes. I don't really know why Scott did this, but he did, so yeah. And finally, for his last victory, it will be roughly identical to one victory I gave to Freddy. Foxy will be twitching like mad with a glowing eye. Eventually his eye will dim, and Foxy will go deactivated, in reference to, obviously, when the spirits were set free in FNAF 3. I was originally thinking of giving Phantom Foxy a sort of attention, where he would fly out of Foxy, however, I thought that was a bit too tacky, so that's why I didn't do it. Moving on to his colors and alts, Foxy's default appearance will of course be Withered Foxy. I'm thinking it would be like the official model of Withered Foxy, and not the Steel Wool one. His ult will be of Classic Foxy. See, folks, there you go. You get to play as Classic Foxy. I did this as well with Freddy, where his ults, his even numbers are the original Freddy, and I'm doing the same here with Foxy. His even ults are the original FNAF 1 Foxy. I guess that some of the moves that Foxy does here are not really good for Classic Foxy, but shut up. You want the FNAF 1 Foxy or not? Oh yeah, and another thing. For his up B attack for Classic Foxy, it would actually be the VR Phantom Foxy. The one with, the one that looks like FNAF 1 Foxy and is green, instead of the canon Phantom Foxy. Anyways, moving on to colors. The third color, which is Withered Foxy, he'll mainly be lime green, and I want him to be transparent, but I couldn't really do that with Source Filmmakers. I probably can, but whatever. And he'll have a yellow glowing eye, in reference to Radioactive Foxy. Obviously a skin that Foxy can contain in FNAF AR. Now, I know I already referenced Radioactive Foxy here, but be quiet. Next Foxy will have, which is Classic Foxy, he'll be white with pink secondary colors. This is obviously referencing Mangle, the female version of Foxy that kids won't stop breaking apart. The fourth color, which is Withered Foxy. Now, okay, I know this seems stupid, but it is Golden Foxy. This is obviously referencing Fredbear and String Bonnie. 2 out of the 3 original animatronics made for Fredbear's Family Diner. Now, yes, I know there's not actually a Golden Foxy, but like I said before, you don't see Mario popping forward aerials in his original games. We're taking liberties here, and it's just a nice little nod. I mean, technically, a lot of people state that Withered Foxy was in Fredbear's Family Diner, along with the other animatronics, so, hey, that would work. Moving on to his next classic appearance, this will be obviously Blacklight Foxy, the Funko merchandising phenomenon. Yes, I don't really like Funko, but what are you gonna do, huh? This is kind of a unique costume. And finally, 2 of the Foxies will get alts. The 7 alts will be of Unwithered Foxy. Obviously, this is Withered Foxy, but not Damage. Now, I know we never actually canonly saw an Unwithered Foxy, but hey, why not? And for the final alt, which is for Classic Foxy, will be of Captain Foxy. The Foxy you see in the Pirate minigame in Curse of Dreadbearer in FNAF VR Help Wanted. And that is What If Wither Foxy was in Smash? Or, my bad, Foxy's Fake Smash moveset. I actually had a bit of fun with this. Sure, the editing and the voiceovers and source filmmaker stuff was a pain, but I finally did it. So I hope you enjoy. And keep in mind, I'm probably never going to do this again. I have actually made, the last time I did make a fake Smash moveset video was a while back. I have made a few more. I made a Tom one from Tom and Jerry, and a strange one, which was Angry Video Game Nerd crossover with Donald Duck. But, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to show those ones. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.